Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Hopper Dragons here, and I'm going to be playing some more Skylanders SuperChargers. So let's hop right in and continue the Nuzlocke. But yeah, if for whatever reason, I don't know what, but I'm just saying, if for whatever reason that my channel may ever get hacked into, and all my videos get deleted, I'm going to have to start from scratch, because I don't have the money for YouTube Premium to download all my videos, and where all of them just came straight from my PS5. It's not like I could just record them again, because I had to delete the files because it would just take up too much space on there regardless, like if I kept them on there.
Skylander Academy used to
So,
stand for training
I won't, if that ever somehow happens for whatever reason, I won't ever be able to recover my content, which really sucks in hindsight.
We need to stay on the move and
Like,
keep
it
the core of light
really
safe from
sucks in
chaos
hindsight
at all
with that
costs.
fact in
Fire
mind.
up them engines.
I never thought I'd see the Academy again. Thank you, Skylander. It might be a little worse for wear, but Buzz is right. It's the last symbol of hope for Skylands. It's up to us to keep everyone safe. Speaking of which, I need to get to work. Master Eon is still being held prisoner, and we need him now more than ever. But don't worry, Mag said she'd be happy to show you around.
Yeah, I don't really have that many Skylanders that I can use in this game compared to Imaginators. Mostly because you can't use Skylanders from future games and past games for some reason. Like, I get it that they came later in the series, but still. Like, it just feels weird not being able to use those Skylanders whenever you've been using them for about a year at that point. Yeah, for about a year, if not more. So I'm gonna use this guy. Spitfire.
Supercharged.
But I'm trying to go for the platinum as well in this playthrough too.
Skylander. I am the
And also, if you notice that my Quartermaster Star rank level whatever is a little higher, I tried working on a different save. Not this one, but from a different save. Like a separate save file, because you get like 4 saves in this game, like save files. And I tried using one of those to try and continue the game, but it just wasn't gonna work out for me. Like I just thought it would have been way too much of a struggle to focus on 2 different playthroughs at once. Like, frankly, if you want my honest opinion on that, I just thought it would be too much of a hassle to swap between save files all the time.
If you ain't a sight for sore eyes, Skylander. Like Hugo
And mind
told
you,
ya,
Mags has a bigger role to play in Trap Team and SuperChargers compared to what he does in Imaginators.
Look it up. Welcome to what remains of Skylander Academy. That chaos hadn't left
Yeah,
me
I
much
hate
to
the
work
fact that
with,
she always
but we
brings
are
up the number
officially
87
functional.
million.
And now that we're all
Like-
mobile and such, I can gather
like
materials
most people
to make
wouldn't even
repairs
know
and
that's a
get
real
this place
number.
humming again. Speaking of humming,
Like, it's
that
just
bad
aggravating
inferior
how much he
Persephone
brings
over
it
there
out.
said she's all ready to help you out with some
You know,
magical upgrades.
Like, I get it
At
that
least I
this
think
game is
that's
made
what
for
she
kids,
said.
but there's also
Never
a lot
can
of
tell.
adults playing it too. That would
And I'm always
obviously
here to
know
help
what the
out
number
when here,
87
especially with
million
anything
is.
technical and such.
You know, like, I mean, I'm a legal adult. You know, I ain't, like, you know, full-on adult, you know, like, mentally, because that won't happen until I'm, like, 25. Like, fully biologically fully matured. Like, that won't happen until I'm around the age of 25. But I am still a legal adult either way, regardless of how you try to put a spin on that. So, yeah. Like, there's no...
Hello, extremely.
So, obviously,
again.
I would know what the
So
number
happy to
87
dance with
million
you,
is.
even in this time of great turmoil and danger. What you face is greater than any before, and so you must be mightier
And mind
than
you,
ever.
this is a Nuzlocke
I am here
series.
to
If you
help.
couldn't read,
I
if
can
you didn't
convert
read it in the
gold into
title.
magical upgrades for all Skylanders. Make
So
your
if I
powers
lose a
even
Skylander,
stronger.
it's automatically
And not
I
here
cannot
only,
use
no.
it or any
place you
variant of that
travel, I can travel
Skylander
as
again.
well. When
or
able, I will
whatever.
arrive most urgently to give you upgrades. Are you ready for a
And
new magical upgrade?
I cannot
Here
use
you can
any
see
form
all
of
the
healing
upgrades
item
that I can be making
unless
for...
it's
Vehicles
enforced
can be
by the
upgraded
game,
and
like
also,
a level
but
up.
not with fairy magic. Oh,
You know,
no.
me being
It is
pushed
lucky
into
that
a healing
Sharpfin
item
has come to
or
our
backed
island
into
to
a corner
help.
where that just so happens to have a
Here
healing
he
item in
comes
there
to see you
or
now.
whatever, or you know, exiting the level. That's the only times I'm not gonna break that rule because that's kind of enforced by the game. You know, at that point it's just enforced. You can't really get away from that because it's obviously enforced. I wonder where Sharpfin is. And if you don't know who Sharpfin is, I believe he was introduced in Swap Force. He was a character that was introduced in Swap Force, if I'm remembering correctly. He's like the guy that owns that surfboard-looking ship that Flynn owns. You know, that you saw in Imaginators. That kind of looks like a shark mixed with a surfboard. That was his ship. So, yeah. That's basically a brief synopsis of who he is. And also he's supposed
Glad to see you made it,
too.
Skylander. My name's Sharpfin, newly appointed head mechanic of the Academy and part-time, we'll say soldier of fortune, all right then? That vehicle you're driving around is powered by a unique Rift engine, capable of creating its own portal for travelling to and across Skylands. That ought to keep little Baldy on his toes.
Why do they need
I'm
a ship
responsible for making
putting
sure all
people
your
in
vehicles
danger?
is in tip-top shape.
Why do they need a
You think I
ship
did
to
all
carry
right
the others
myself?
around?
Please.
To put them in danger?
I've got people for that, assuming they ever get here with my
I mean,
ship.
do they not think logically in this
Here they
universe?
come.
I mean, it's basic logic to not put
I
yourself
understand you already
in
met
danger.
my
That
fellas.
is
This
basic
is Fender,
logic.
Socket and Clyde, the best pit crew in all Skylands, and they are at your service. You can get your vehicles upgraded whenever
So they're
and
the
wherever
same,
you see them set up.
Whatever creature that's supposed to be.
Go and meet with my pit
They're
crew,
basically the same
Skylander.
ones that I
You'll like what
rescued
they have
last
to show
episode
you.
in the first level of the game. Wait, why is there 4 slots?
These are your specialty
Yeah, I already
mods.
have
Swap them
all
out.
that maxed out, so it's kind of pointless to do an upgrade.
Now that you're all done tweaking out your
Like those are the
vehicle,
same
feel free to
land
check out
sharks
the
or
rest
whatever you
of
want
our
to call
academy.
them.
We may have
That I
taken a
saved
bit of
from the
pounding,
first
but we're still
level
in
of the
this
game
fight.
in last episode. So that explains
go
who
chat
those
with Flynn
land
when you're
sharks
ready
are
to
besides
shove off.
Sharpfin, of course. So yeah. But it just feels
Ahoy
weird
there,
hearing
Skylander.
Joe Swanson
Hope you enjoyed
voicing
your
a kid's
tour of
game.
the
As
Academy.
much as I dislike
Max
Family Guy
promised me
for
a
obvious
guacamole
reason
bar
by
in the
now,
cafeteria. It's just one
like
of the
how
main
they
perks
try
of
and make
being me.
a lot of
Believe
characters
it.
seem holier than thou whenever they're
Max
just
has
as
plenty
bad
of
as
higher
other
priority items on her
characters.
list than your
You know, like
snacks, Flynn.
how they try to make
And so do
Lois
we.
look like
We still
she's
don't
some
know how to find Master
expert
Eon.
genius who could never do any wrong whenever
Actually,
she's
I
been
think
proven
I
on
found
multiple
something.
occasions to be
There's
just as
rumored
bad,
to be a
if not
magical
worse,
dragon
than
at the
Peter.
Cloud Scraper Mountains that can locate anything
Or how they
anyone
just
in
basically say,
Skylands.
"Oh,
All
random
he
joke
needs
thrown in
is some
here
kind
for no
of
reason that
personal
doesn't
item
advance
from
the
whoever
plot in
you're
any
looking
way."
for.
That's basically
That's great, Hugo.
that.
But
Like,
Master
there's
Eon is a
literally
spirit.
only about
Any
maybe 10
personal
minutes
items
worth
of
of
his
plot
were
in
lost
each
years ago.
episode. Most of it is just
That's
cutaway
not
gags,
entirely true.
and most of them aren't even that funny.
May have managed to
They're
salvage
just
a small
they're just cheap
something
one-liners,
I have in
or
my
just
possession.
cheap little jabs
The
at
sock
celebrities
of
that
Eon.
anybody could notice and are very obvious,
well,
so they aren't
that's
even
not
jabs
weird or
at that
anything.
point. South Park.
Yep. I need
Like,
no
I've
more
seen
information regarding this topic
Countless other
whatsoever.
examples of adult series, adult animated series,
then.
doing
I guess
jabs
this
at
is our best
celebrities
shot. Are you ready
far
to head to the Cloud
better
Scraper
than,
Mountains to find this sniffy
Family Guy.
dragon?
Heck, Simpsons has better jabs at celebrities than Family Guy. And at least most other adult animated series don't just stick to one group, one celebrity, or one thing that is easy to make fun of. Like, not saying that these groups should be made fun of. I'm just saying, like, they're the easy targets. Like the black community, women, Jewish people, Christians, basically almost everybody that isn't a straight white male who happens to be Christian or atheist. Or, well, mostly atheist anyways. Like, and that's not just some, that's not just some made-up thing. If you pay attention, Family Guy, most of the people that they make fun of is just anybody who isn't a straight white male. Like, they rarely ever make fun of the straight white men of the series.
Wow, a real Skylander!
And
Welcome to the Cloud Scraper Mountains.
You would notice that
We've recently been
well.
conquered by Emperor Chaos and are being forced to serve him. Willingly serve him. Happily.
It's pretty obvious by now.
Please help us. For no obvious treasonous reason, because we are definitely not staging a revolution, I will tell you that you must ring the summoning gong to wake the dragon if you want to speak with him. And
supposedly they're supposed to be making fun of everybody. Yeah, try telling that to the straight white males that you refuse to make fun of Seth MacFarlane and staff. Jesus Christ, no wonder Seth. No wonder Seth, which is literally half the cast of characters. No wonder, because I doubt anybody would want to work with him, considering he's willing to work with people who have willingly supported people like Danny Masterson, Hinton, Megan Fox, or whatever, or whoever boasts his Meg or whatever.
As long as that alarm keeps
I honestly don't care about. I honestly couldn't care less about that show. Sure, there are some funny moments, but they are way too few and far between. Like, the actual funny moments are very few and very far between. It's more or less just shock humor for the sake of shock humor.
The
not meant to be
glorious
funny
forces of
or
Emperor Chaos
creative.
have sealed
Just
all the
shock
gates leading
humor
to the
for sake
temple.
of being
They will
shock
only
humor.
respond to the gate gong, which is kept in pieces for
I
security.
get it, shows like South Park
look at
also have
that.
shock humor,
Someone
but
put
it's
the
also something that you could easily relate to real life. That's the kind of shock humor that they use.
Sound the alarms! Skylanders are here!
It's actually stuff that would actually make sense for the characters, and it would actually make sense for the celebrities that they feature on the series. And yes, I know Kanye West was featured on there, and that just proves my point even further at that point. I do not know why I accidentally changed the food. Yeah, I do not remember the max structure levels. If you couldn't already tell, I do not remember the maps. Don't judge me. Well, I think I'm about to lose space. I think anyways.
Hell!
Yeah, that's a lane one.
Flame and fortune.
So I'm just gonna, and it's how you progress the level. Mind you, everybody who's played this game has a lane vehicle.
Come on, Skylander, follow me!
No, if they have the starter pack, of course, which
Vehicles
they
of the
kind of
Earth
need
element are stronger
to,
in this.
own the game for the most part.
For the what?
They kind of need to have the starter pack of some sort.
Let me guess. You were gonna say
Unless if they got it second hand, then that's perfectly reasonable. But to even play the game, you need a land vehicle. can't play the game otherwise if you don't have a land vehicle. Because to even get past the opening segment where you're driving through that one portal segment in the opening of the game, you need a land vehicle. So you literally cannot get past the opening of the game without a land vehicle. So, yeah, gonna need a land vehicle to play the game.
Vehicles of the
Think
fire
about it for more
element
than
are
5
stronger in this
seconds.
zone.
Doesn't matter which, you just need a land vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna swap out the parts of my vehicles to make them more fair. They can be used multiple times without risk of losing the vehicle, you know, forever, like I would with regular Skylanders. Like I'm gonna make it to where I can't swap out the parts for the vehicles, you know, to make it more fair and sound for the rules. Because, well, it would just be really fair otherwise. If I just allowed them to do whatever the heck they want, you know, with no consequence for the vehicles.
Alright.
So, yeah, I might as well just add that rule in. At least add one. You know, like, I have to make it fair some. Since I can't lose vehicles. Because, well, vehicles don't really function under the same health bar as regular Skylanders. And also, like, since, you know, vehicles are kind of, you know, more of a rare commodity than actual Skylanders. Like, it would just be very stupid to make it to where I can actually
There's a summoning
lose the
gong,
vehicles.
Skylander! Give it a bang and wake that dragon!
You know, it would just be very stupid to make it to where I can lose vehicles. Especially since if I lose my land vehicle, that's a large portion of the game that I would end up losing. Because I can't even... Like, I get it if I had to restart the run, but... Like, I'm only classifying that part as... you know, if I actually lose a Skylander, and all Skylanders I own. That's the only time I'm going to qualify a boss run.
Skylanders of the light element are stronger in this zone.
Well, I don't have any light Skylanders. Heck, the only light Skylanders I have are for Imaginators. And, as you can probably already tell, I do not have any Skylanders. Like, you cannot use light Skylanders. You cannot use future game Skylanders in previous games. And Imaginators did come out after SuperChargers. So, yeah. That's... So, light Skylanders are kind of locked off to me. Oh god, how about to lose another Skylander on the second level? Am I seriously about to lose another Skylander? I swear, if I do, I'm never gonna forgive myself. Considering, well, this is the second level in the game. Well, time to swap out a vehicle. And, I'm gonna use Gilgrunts. And also, I'm gonna swap out, Eruptor for Gilgrunt
Reef Ripper.
So, yeah.
Supercharged.
And no, the supercharging does not count as, changing out any parts, because I do not know how to swap the colors at that point, right now.
The wise
Anyways.
and benevolent force.
I do not know how to swap out the colors of the vehicles. So do not ask me at that.
Time to fish or cut bait.
And also, I don't think it's changing any parts. I just think it's,
I'm pulling up the plans for the village's natural
I
irrigation
think it's
system,
just changing the
Skylander.
color. That's
It
all
looks
I
like there
really
are
think
3
it's doing right
blockages.
here.
There's the first one. That plate is blocking the drain. You'll have to destroy it to clear the village. Only 2 drains left to unclog, Skylander.
So I gotta clear out the drains for whatever reason.
Vehicles of the water element are stronger in this zone.
You think?
You are wonderful.
Like, considering most of the water vehicles, like the sea vehicles, are of the water element, because that makes the most sense. I wonder why they would be
There's
stronger
still 1
here.
drain left.
I wonder why, genius. Like, considering water vehicles make up most of the sea vehicles in this game. And yes, there are 3 different categories of vehicles, both land, sea, and sky, which is not this, and the sea vehicles are not the same as the water element. Well, not directly anyway.
That's all of them, Skylander. Head to the surface.
Hey, looky there. The water's going down in the village. That's
Just that
good,
they
right?
share, they just share elements with those vehicles. Just so happen to, anyways.
Whew. Thanks, Skylander. Now I can finally climb out of this suit. It smells like wet dog in here.
I wonder why it smells like wet dog. Maybe because you are a humanoid dog. So I guess I wonder how I gotta collect those pieces. Maybe I gotta do that. But either way, I'm just gonna collect that that vehicle part right here. I think that might be for some kind of trophy. So I'm just gonna collect that real quick. So I'm gonna exit out of the vehicle here. I think there's another vehicle part in this area. And also the starter pack comes with Spitfire, Guild Grunt, and Stealth Elf for this, well, this version of them anyway. But, it does not come with Stealth Elf or Guild Grunt's vehicles. It only comes with Spitfire. Mostly because, well, you can't play the game without a land vehicle, and they had to give Spitfire its own vehicle, considering all SuperChargers Skylanders have their own vehicle to go along with them. So, it would kind of be counterintuitive to not give Spitfire its own vehicle,
Look out,
and
Skylander!
make
Chaos's
it
troops are assembling up
a
ahead to
non-land
stop you
vehicle.
from reaching the Cloud Breather Dragon.
It would make it pretty counterintuitive to not do that. Can't it just swap up the whatever element is strong in this area? I do not want to. I do not own any light or dark Skylanders in this game, or any game before this one. And I do not own this. Like, I do not own a light or dark Skylander in from Spyro's Adventure to this game. I only own them in Imagination. And I cannot use them in and I cannot use them in this game for reasons I already mentioned. Okay, time to swap out Guild Grunt, I guess.
Pork and gore!
Yeah, I never used a Skylander. Well, I have, but it's pre-owned, so that explains why it has a level higher than 1. If you're wondering why it has a level higher than 1, that explains it. It's a pre-owned Skylander.
Yep, that was just like Flynn.
So, I might want to try and upgrade sometime. You know, whenever I get more gold in this character. So, yeah. And honestly, I like the fast Skylanders more than what I do the strong Skylanders, considering, especially on higher difficulties, considering fast Skylanders give you more movement options, and it makes it easier to avoid attacks, thus helping you take less damage.
You don't have to gong it off the hook. You again?
So, yeah.
This isn't funny. Someone needs to stop these Skylanders. Guards!
Okay, time to use the
Where'd they all come from?
And I wonder why a lot of Skylanders that, you know, would make sense to have vehicles like Sprocket. I wonder why they don't have their own unique supercharger or vehicle, to my knowledge anyways. But yet, a lot of Skylanders that wouldn't make sense to have vehicles like Eruptor, they have their own vehicles. So,
It's go time!
I mean, come on. Sprocket literally uses a tank and is an engineer. Why didn't she get her own vehicle? Or supercharger, or whatever you want to call it.
You'll have to clear out these troops to reach the Cloud Breather Dragon.
So, trying to explain that, Activision. Trying to explain why you didn't give the one character that would make the most sense have a vehicle and not have them have a vehicle. Trying to explain that, Activision, the creators of this series, and Vicarious Visions to an extent, and Toys for Bob. Trying to explain that. Why the characters that would make the most sense to have their own unique vehicles don't have their own unique vehicles. Try and make it make sense. And yet you gave vehicles to the characters who don't have hands.
Here's your chance,
Like
Skylander.
Eruptor, for
They're heading
example.
to the end of the path. Hurry up and cut them off.
Try and make it make sense. Like, try and make this make sense. Giving... Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Stick the landing, Skylander, buddy. Boom!
Like, there are barely even any original Skylanders that have their own unique vehicles. Like, sure, there's Jetpack, Pop Fizz, Eruptor, Guild Run, but that's about it. And Stealth Elf, too. I don't know about her. Mostly because, well, she's not really that recognizable of a character. You know, besides whenever she's actually featured in stuff like Skylanders Academy, a series on Netflix. Like, she's not really memorable in her appearances besides those. You know? But I hate how they butchered Spyro in this series. I hate how they butchered his design. Like, sure, his personality is mostly the same, but his design is what I hate. Let me turn off my mic.
Skylanders of the fire element are stronger in this zone.
They're launching a final assault on our sacred dragon temple. If it's destroyed, no one will be able to speak with the Cloud Breather. You have to stop this aerial attack, Skylander, and save the temple.
Stealth Stinger. Supercharged.
Clear out these fighter ships and protect the temple, Skylander.
Yeah, I'm back. But, you know what? Actually, like, now that I realize it, I still think that these games are still pretty good. Like, it's just that some of the dialogue could use a lot of improving. That's all I really have on this series that kind of ruins the experience, is the dialogue to real even upgrade. Like, that's all I really have with grievances on this game. Like, is that the dialogue needs a major upgrade to, you know, make it less corny. Like sure, they can still keep it, you know, kid-friendly and all, but, you know, they just really need to make it less kid-friendly and less corny. You know, that's the only thing I can see that they wouldn't
You're doing awesome, Skylander, buddy.
games.
You'll be home free as long as Chaos didn't send any warships.
Those ships are opening fire! Look out!
Well, what are the odds of that happening?
Yeah, I saw a vehicle part in this area, so I'm gonna go through this little gateway here, try and grab that. So, yeah, might as well just do that. So I got a part. Wow, I like how I've been mostly getting parts for vehicles that I own so far. That's the funniest part about all of this. Is that I have only been getting vehicle parts for vehicles I own already. And I don't even own that many vehicles. That's the funniest part about all of this. Like, I only own maybe like 10 vehicles. And that's about it. Like, I'm not joking. I don't even think I even got that many. Which is the funniest part about all this. I've only been getting parts for those vehicles. Yet I don't even own like more than like 8. Wait, I'm gonna swap out. Jeez, swapped out. I guess I'm gonna put in a giant. Because they have a lot of defense. And it would make sense that they would be here. And T-Rex would make most sense, considering he is a life guy, so it would make sense that he would be controlling a life vehicle, life element vehicle. So that would just make the most sense. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Just cannot take another hit. Well, say goodbye to T-Rex, I guess. I guess time to put in Eyebrow.
I've got my eye on you.
I guess that's the next best option. What? Just loop me back around for no reason. So, that's supposed to be like some kind of feature or bug or whatever. Like, I haven't played this game in a while, so, like, besides, like, before starting the series, of course, so I wouldn't know. Jesus Christ, do I have to get really far away or something? Do I have to get far away from the airship? From this angle? What? It's not even letting me hit it. So, what am I supposed to do? It's not even letting me attack the airship. There we go. So, I have no clue what I really need to do here, because considering that the airship seems to be really far away to the point my weapons can't even damage. I'm just gonna have to do this for the rest of the battle. There we go. At least it let me do
Great
that.
work. The fight's the other way, Skylander.
Thank you for saving our temple, Skylander. But the poor cloud breather dragon is still in chains. Please free him.
I'm just swarm, I guess. Considering my brawl is kinda out of commission.
Choose one of
So,
these Portal
I'm
Master
gonna
powers. Each
choose
Portal Master
that one, I
rank.
guess.
Bring the sting!
So, I'm to continue the level, because that's all I really can do. Hey, at least Swarm is pretty decent level, being level 14 out of 20. At least that's something good that I can deal with, especially on this difficulty, being the highest that the game has to offer. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do well. I think I'm gonna have to have a reset at some point, which is really gonna suck if I'm late into the game. Like, that's the part that's really gonna suck if I have to have a reset at some point.
I'm not falling for that one again. I know it's
If I have
you,
to have a reset
Skylander.
at, like, let's say at the end of the final boss or something, and that would
Crusher.
really suck.
I told you to stop ringing those gongs.
Considering I've
Now
already
you're
lost
gonna
2
pay.
Skylanders
Attack!
at this point. Yeah, I can't wait to play Final Fantasy 16 on this channel. It's a really good game from what I've played of it. Even though it does have scenes reminiscent of Hogwarts Legacy, which is a game I really didn't enjoy. Sorry to any Hogwarts Legacy fans out there, but I just didn't really enjoy the game. It was just mostly dialogue. But Final Fantasy 16, at least it had enjoyable factors to go with the dialogue scene. You know, at least it had something to go along with the dialogue to keep you hooked. You know, actual action scenes. Instead of, you know, oh, talk for 30 minutes. Then go hunting for a random item that you could have found anywhere. And for some reason, the item that you could have found anywhere, for some reason isn't the right item. Like, that is the main part I really despise about Hogwarts Legacy. Is that it's just too boring. there's nothing really done throughout the entirety of the game. You know, outside of, like, from what I played of the game, there's only, like, one combat segment in, like, the first 10 minutes of the game. That is all the game really has going for it, in terms of combat. Other than that, it's just choose your dialogue. Sure, choose your own dialogue games can be fun. But if it's all the game has to offer, there's nothing to enjoy about the game. Like, and that's what really turned me off from the game. Is how it was just basically just choose your own, like a really cheap, yet really pricey choose your own dialogue game. Like, that's all Hogwarts Legacy really was at the end of the day. I get it if you enjoy the game, but that game is not for me for that reason. Like, I just can't get into it. It is just too boring. The story is borderline non-existent. And I just can't really get behind it. That's what I'm trying to say. I just can't see the appealability of the game. And that's why I'm gonna have to cancel the series on it, because I just can't see the enjoyability of it. To keep playing the game, like, there's no hook. Other than, you know, catching the Harry Potter IP for what the game was inspired by. Like, that's all that really has it hooking for the game. It's just the Harry Potter IP. That's all the game really has going for it. Outside of that, it is the most boring game I have ever played. I can't even fathom, like, personally, I cannot fathom how people enjoyed it. Like, sure, I can see how they would enjoy it, because, you know, enjoyability is subjective. But personally, I cannot see the enjoyability of the game. It is just
Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. This is all we have left of Master Eon. Will this be enough to find him?
Strange.
I mean, it's basically just, like, you gotta find a balance between dialogue and combat, and Final Fantasy XVI does that.
Of the living, in the land of the undead.
And that's why I love Final Fantasy XVI. It's because it manages to balance that pretty well. And that's why I love Final Fantasy XVI. It's because it manages to balance that concept extremely well, from what I've seen of the game.
Whew. Now we know where Master
Instead
Eon
of just
is
making
being held prisoner.
80% of the
But
game
getting there won't be easy.
either just dialogue
Your
or just
vehicle's
combat.
Rift engine has an output equivalent to 3.2
Gotta have
jillion
a
thunderbolts.
pretty good
But in order to
mixture
reach
of
through
both
the cosmic
to have
barrier and
a
get to
perfect
the land of the
combination of
undead,
that makes
we'll
the
need to
perfect
boost your Rift
enjoyability
engine
factor.
up to 10
And
jillion
that's why
thunderbolts.
I don't
only
really
one thing
like
in
games like
Skylands that can
Hogwarts
generate
Legacy
that amount of
or
energy,
games like The
and
Last
that's
of
the
Us,
thunderous bolt
because
of
they
the
either
Cloud
focus
Kingdom.
too heavily
We
on
sent a
dialogue
message to
or
Queen
too heavily
Cumulus
on
to ask
combat.
for her help. But before we can do anything, Mag said she needed to take some
I mean, you
field
gotta
readings
throw
on
some
your
story
vehicle
in
as
there
a safety
somewhere, and it
precaution.
has to be an enjoyable story. And I don't enjoy those games for that reason. But yeah, I'm gonna end today's video here.
Only a
Be sure to like and
SuperCharger
subscribe.
Skylander can
I'll
customize
see you in the next
vehicles.
video. Bye-bye.